I opened the lid with astonishment, disbelief, and elation. He saw that the box was filled with gold. Filled with gold. I share the story with you this morning as a metaphor to remind you that each and every one of us has within us, within our soul, within our being, a box of gold. A box of gold, but how often do we not tap into that? How often do we not open the lid and as a result continue to live with the same old story over and over and over and over and over and over again? The title of my message for us this morning is this: The Emergence of the True Self Through Changing Your Story. I want to share that with you again. The emergence of your true self through the changing of your story. Now, in the story that I just told about the beggar, the true self is synonymous with the gold that is within you. But the only way that the beggar was able to change his story regarding that which was inside the box was changing his mind and opening his mind to a new story. Would you agree with me that as the beggar told about the box from that moment on, it was a new story he told? Yes. Well, that's the same for you and I when we choose to open our soul and allow the story of the gold that exists within us, the finest of the finest, which is the self of the divine that exists within us. It's that which we've referred to that has the qualities of peace, power, beauty, joy, light, life, love, and wisdom within us. When we allow that to come up and be expressed through us, that's the opportunity for us to allow our true self to emerge and express itself to the world. The truth in human terms is that we're all living a personal story, and every story, as I'm sure we all know, whether we were here on this earth when the Monkees sang that song originally or not, we have a story that has its ups and downs, lows and high points. But what's important for us to know is the theme of the story that structures and guides us in life. Not the ups and downs, but what do we really look at as the theme of our life? When your story in life has life-affirming themes, or in some belief systems or some settings like this, it's called a positive theme. I don't particularly care for that word, as you all know, but when your story has a life-affirming theme, you've found the key to transformation, leading to the opportunity for the emergence of the true self to make itself known as you navigate the journey of your life. Changing your theme in life is much more effective to do than trying to fix yourself one issue or one challenge at a time. In other words, by focusing on the theme of your life, being a divine being, having a human experience at times, while knowing your humanity is an equal part to your divinity, but letting your divinity be the more dominant side in life, then you're not focused on the challenges one at a time. The most life-affirming themes in life include lightness, worthiness, self-acceptance, evolution, and love. If you choose these and you vibrate to these in your life, then your theme of your story of your life will be aimed at making your life feel good, making you feel good, making your life better each and every day. Focusing on your life from that perspective opens new possibilities and creates new opportunities in life. And in so doing, you'll bring forth into your life an opportunity or a mindset of optimism and a sense of renewal each and every day. Now, one way to do this, who in here is getting too cold? I see you guys wrapping up. Hey, Jesus, can you jack it up just a little bit for a little while, please? I'm not sure where he went, but he'll fix it in just a moment. One way to do this is to focus on choosing this affirmation: I let negativity and darkness dissolve my light. Dissolve in my light, not dissolve my light. I let negative, that would not do it, would it? All right, let's back up, change the story. I let negativity and darkness dissolve in my light. My light is a synonym. It's another word or set of words to be used for the true self as it's emerging in your life. Now, your true self, as I said before, are these qualities of the divine that was talked about earlier. I let negativity and darkness, in other words, that which is contradictory to life-affirming, dissolve in my life. In other words, it has no power anymore. The emergence of the true self is what I'm talking about today, and allowing that to be the catalyst to changing your story. Jesus, would you jack the air up a little bit, please? Make it warmer, all right? So what I want to share is that as we go through life, oftentimes we get messages from the universe. Would you guys agree with that? And most often we don't really pay attention to them. Well, I have a very dear friend who gets an email daily from a website or an email chain that says note from the universe. And this week she received this one. Does some of you guys get it? It's called, we'll just let that go. A note from the universe. And she forwarded it to me, and I'm going to read it to you, which I think is a great note that we can receive for ourselves in this moment. I'm going to reference it to me. It was actually sent to her, Janet, but I'll call it Keith. Can you imagine me, the power, the universe, settling into a human body? Oh, it would be a grand one. Not just any body, only a gorgeous body, with all the bells and whistles that really count. Capable of big dreams to remind me of what I'm capable of, and the strength to spin the world in the palm of my hand. Imagine for a moment that within you is the strength to spin the world in the palm of your hand. In metaphysical terms, we believe that that's true. That you are the same power as the universe, as the power that created the cosmos, that created the universe, that created the world. And it's the same palm, metaphorically, that can spin it in its hand. It goes on to write, Mr. and Miss Universe, the universe, that's why I picked yours, meaning your body. Keith, it writes, if you knew of the power you possessed, at this very moment you would cry and cry and cry, and then feel light as a feather. What it's telling us is that once we realize the dynamic energy that exists within us, it'll bring us to tears and to tears. And those are not tears of sadness. They're tears of joy, of an awakening to know who we are as a divine being. In other words, it's releasing anything and everything that's contradictory to our divinity, to our qualities. And in so doing, then we're light as a feather. It's from this place of being light as a feather, moving easily throughout the universe, that we have the opportunity to then create a new story in our lives. Today, that's what I'm talking about, is creating a new story in our lives, individually and even collectively as a community, if we choose to do that. To know that each moment in life, we're starting anew. Each moment in life, we're starting anew. Now, this is a premise and a foundation of what we teach here at the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles and all metaphysical New Thought communities. That's really a basic premise of the metaphysical community and our belief systems. And what this means is that not only are we starting anew, because that's the nature of the universe that we are, but as human beings who are imbued with choice, we have the opportunity to choose anew each and every moment, and to know then that we live in a universe that's governed by spiritual law, which means we have the ability to see those choices manifest in form in our life because the law of life brings them forth. In other words, what we experience in life is a reflection of what we think and believe. In other words, we experience life in relationship to the story that we've created about the life that we're living. I'm going to say that again. We experience life in relationship to the story that we've created about the life that we're living. Think about that for a second. Does that give you freedom or does that freak you out? And it's okay if it does a little of both. Today, I invite us and I encourage us, and I even instruct us to some degree, to embark from this moment forward into the next step of the journey of our life. And as we do so, let's take a look at the spectacular opportunity that we each have to chart the course of our life from this moment forward. We have the opportunity to ask ourselves, what is our intention for this next step of the journey of our life? What energy do we want to focus on the story that we're creating in our life? to ask ourselves, are we willing to release and shed the burdens of life? Burdens meaning that which is weighing us down in life, keeping us from expressing and the emergence of our divine self, our true self. And are we willing to release that, choose a new perspective, choose new thoughts, choose new beliefs that then give rise to a new story in our life? I invite you this morning to create a space in your mind, in your heart, in your soul, and your being to create a new narrative in life within you so that you can allow that to then be crystallized within you. And then your life is a reflection of holistic, life-affirming, and everlasting change. Change that's a result of the choices that you're making. It's important for you and I to know that transformation in life, no matter where we've been or where we are, is possible. And that transformation is all about our personal story. Now, what I've learned in my life, in the years that I've walked this earth, is that I know without a doubt, and I experience it time and time and time and time again. I did it just last night at a party. And it's so interesting how the universe works in its really wonderful ways. I was walking with a friend and I said, have you ever heard the statement, the Lord works in mysterious ways? She goes, well, duh. I'm like, well, it's worked through me that way. Meaning that just preparing for today, there were numerous opportunities for me to ask myself, am I attached to my old story here? Is my old story of attachment to whatever's unfolding here, is it causing me to not get the highest possible experience in my life? And there were moments where the answer to that was, yeah, that's what was happening. But I became alert and awake to that and chose anew. Today, I'm inviting you to give yourself permission, even if you've done it before, to know that it's the law of nature that we experience our story in life, but to create a new story in life because you're the author of your story. And to embrace the powerful truth in an empowered manner that your life shifts when you let go of the stories that no longer serve you and begin to write a story or stories that is loving, open, spacious, and reflective of your divinity. When you do that, your world naturally opens up and opportunity appears to be everywhere. Now, you notice I said opportunity or possibility, whatever you want to call it, appears to be everywhere. It's not that it's been created anew. It's always been there. It's just that because your mindset, your consciousness, your alertness, your awareness has opened itself up into a vibrational frequency that's then allowing yourself to receive that which has always been there. Once again, it's not new opportunity. It's just that you're seeing life anew. You're seeing it from an evolutionary perspective, if you will. It's important for us to know that at all times, this opportunity, this possibility, the universe, if you will, is just waiting to rise up and make our new story, our new narrative come true to us in life. And the only way that it can come true to us in life is becoming true through us in life. We play a vital role in the experience of that which is called our life. And we get to experience, you guys have heard the saying, change your thinking, change your life. That's what we're talking about here. It's important for us to know that there's endless possibilities, endless opportunities in life as life. Meaning that possible is the opposite of impossible. As we shed our burdens, the opposition of anything that is in opposition to our true self then opens these spaces to reveal something that appears to be new. So what do I mean by new? I mean new, as I said before, of that which you haven't seen before. But it's important on this journey of awakening to ask yourself, where am I as a conscious being that has consciousness? I'm going to read to you the realms of consciousness known as the evolutionary realms of consciousness like I did last week, so you can assess for you where you're at on this journey of personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening, not looking at where you are with any judgment, but looking at it as an assessment from where you're beginning anew in this moment. The realms are this: to me, which is a victim consciousness, meaning that you feel powerless in what's taking place in your life. The next realm of evolutionary consciousness is by me. It's waking up to know that you have dominion over what you experience in life by the result of what you choose, how you know that there's a divine being within you, and by releasing blame, shame, and guilt. Is there anyone in the room that needs to release some blame, shame, and guilt? Set it free! All right? And set it free now. The next stage is through me. That's as you continue to evolve, you let go of that delusional state of mind called control. And you surrender to the power of the divine that's within you and let it use you as opposed to you trying to use it. This is living life from a perspective of knowing that there's only one thing ever taking place in the universe. That's the activity of the divine, that you and I are it, that it operates through us, and that as we surrender to its doing its thing through us and faith that it's an unfailing power, then we'll experience life in a better way, a higher vibrational frequency on the evolutionary scale, if you will. And the last realm of consciousness is as me. That's as you release the last vestiges of separation in life and realize complete identification with the power itself, then you live from a place of knowing that you just simply are the divine walking through life. And in that stage, you get to the point where you realize the story is completely insignificant anyway, because it's not about the story. It's about the expression of the wholeness and the perfection and the completeness that you already are as a divine being. So there's no need to tend to try to get rid of anything that's contrary to that, because that which is contrary doesn't show up. What's being called for here is for each and every one of us to shed the skin of the old. Buddha addresses it in this way: just as a snake sheds its skin, we must shed our past over and over and over again. We need to let go of that which was. This quote from Bobby Kennedy showed up this morning. I decided to incorporate that in because I believe today's the day, the anniversary of his assassination. And I want to read it to you to see if you're one of these people. Once again, with no judgment, just the opportunity for self-assessment. There are people in every time and every land who want to stop history in its tracks. They fear the future, mistrust the present, and invoke the security of a comfortable past, which in fact never existed. Sounds like a story to me, right? What he's telling us is, are you one of those people that wants to hang on to what was, which is just some story that you've created about an experience or aspects of life itself? Or are you an individual who's ready to open up to the spiritual truth of who you are as a divine being and embrace that and live from that perspective? It's important to know that if you don't love your story in life right now, no matter what transpired prior to this moment, the next chapter of your life will repeat more of the same. That's because universal law is always at work, bringing forth that in our lives which we haven't healed. The story that we need to love, the story you need to love of your life is the one that contains new elements. Ones that contains forgiveness, one that contains letting go, one that contains release, one that contains knowing who you are as a divine being more and more and more. What this is called is change. Who in the room likes change? Hopefully all of you. It's important for us to embrace change and know that the storyline that is fulfilling at every stage in our life, no matter where we are chronologically, no matter where we are in expressing our humanity, no matter where we are in expressing our divinity, and no matter what's going on as a condition or a circumstance in our life, really is about transformation. It's important for us to let go of the heaviness and the burdens of the path and walk into a new, bright meaning illuminated from within, present. In other words, the now. The now. This moment. Choose to see anew. I'm going to take you on a little journey to give you the opportunity to learn how to do that. I invite you right now to begin to look around the room. If you're new to this room, then you're seeing it relatively new, but choose to see 5 new things that you've never seen before. That might be the back of someone's head. It might be words on the wall. It might be the way the light is coming in. It may be the light that's hanging above us. It might be the aura of the energy of the beauty that's in the room. But in this moment, use a bit of extra awareness to find something that you've never noticed before in life. This is how we change our story. by creating a perspective in life that is anew. And the blessing that we have here is that we have the opportunity every moment to see anew. However, so often in our lives, we don't live life that way. You know, children look with wide-eyed wonder at practically everything. So when did we, as chronologically older children, stop doing that? What happened? Well, what happened is we trained our brains to ignore the familiar, repeating the storyline where any 2 days are always more alike than different. Does anyone have that experience in life where 2 or 3 or more days are more alike than different? We all walk the same path, we drive the same direction, we get up pretty much at the same time, we do our hair the same way. I don't. But we all continue to live life the same way, right? But what's important for us to know is what comes with a new perspective is wonder. It's wonder as children see life. But wonder also fades with repetition. All that is needed to create wonder is the intention right now to let things in our life be new. Today, I encourage you to open yourself to the possibility of perceiving and feeling and knowing your world differently. And to know that inside you, as is inside me, is the control switch to any and all perception. And the biggest perception that we can make in life is to identify with our true self. That's the biggest shift in perception that we can make for ourselves. Why? Because within our true self lies the womb of creation. The womb of creation. You guys know what I mean by that, right? Within that lies the opportunity for us to co-create that which we desire to experience, what we desire to give, what we desire to share, what we desire to be is all right here within us. Our personal reality, our story, if you will, is always being created as an unfolding story in life, and new possibilities present themselves constantly. That's the nature of life. But if we don't perceive them, they'll pass us by. The seeds of the new don't germinate and grow inside of us unless we tend to them. The key is tending to them. We must nurture that which we have acknowledged within us. How many of you here are gardeners? So you know, and I'm learning this, I spent yesterday planting seeds, something I swore when I left Lovejoy, Georgia in 1978 as a farm boy I would never, ever, ever, ever do again. However, what I've learned is that it's wonderful to get my fingers in the soil and plant a seed to see what can emerge. That's the same for the story that we tell ourselves. By planting a seed of knowing that our divinity is within us, our life story gets to experience that divinity. So the key today is changing your perception. Perception of what exists within you, not what's happening to you, but what exists within us so that we're clear on what's taking place through us. There was a photo that I found that I think speaks to us stepping into this opportunity today or walking out of here saying, that was a sweet message, maybe a little long, but it was a sweet message, right? And it's this: a ship in harbor is safe, but that's not why ships are built. A ship in harbor is safe, but that's not why ships are built. Be a daydream believer. That's why I chose that song for us today. The lyrics are this: okay, don't get excited, man, it's 'cause I'm short, I know. Oh, I could hide 'neath the wings of the bluebird as she sings. The 6 o'clock alarm would never ring, but 6 rings and I rise, wipe the sleep out of my eyes. The shaving razor's cold and it stings. Cheer up, sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming queen? What that's telling us here is, yeah, I might be short, and I might be hiding beneath the wings, but big whoop, accept who you are just as you are. And as that metaphorical 6 o'clock alarm rings in the morning, you wipe the sleepy out of your eyes, and that razor that you're about to use, I'm fresh shaven, you guys notice that? Today is cold and it stings. What that means is it's reminding us that we have the opportunity to start anew in that very moment. Cheer up, Sleepy Jean. What could it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming queen? What that's telling us is wake up. Wake up. Modern terminology, get woke, right? Wake up and use your creative abilities to achieve what you want, your relationship with the beauty of the divine that exists within you to be. And to know that you have to do nothing to make it be in you, because it's already there. But you get to do a hell of a lot to release it and reveal it. Today's the day to create a new story if you choose. Daydream believers, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So this next song that Wayne's going to do for us and the band is another one that I've chosen. I've wanted to have this song sung here and the other center for years. It's called Coming Home. And I think it speaks to the opportunity for us to come home to that place within us and awake to that which I was just speaking of. The original was done by Gwyneth Paltrow. Andy and I were laughing. Whoever thought you would say a song was done by Gwyneth Paltrow, right? But it was, and it was fantastic. And so here's Andy Belling giving us Wayne Moore giving us his version of this song quite wonderfully. I've heard it already this morning. And thank you once again for tweaking it and working it and fulfilling my desire.
It's a wonderful song.
It's amazing, isn't it? So, ladies and gentlemen, stay awake and alert to creating your story through this song. Wayne Moore.
It's a 4-letter word, a place you go to heal your hurt. It's an altar, it's a shelter, one place you're always welcome, a pink flamingo double wide, a bedroom in a high-rise, a mansion on a hill, where memories always will keep you company whenever you're alone. After all of my running, I'm finally coming home. The world tried to break me, I found a road to take me. Oh, there ain't nothing but a blue sky now. After all of my running, I'm finally coming home. Well, they say it's where the heart is, and I guess the hardest part is when your heart is broken and you're lost out in the great wide open, looking for a map for finding your way back to where you belong. That's where I belong. Home. Home. The world tried to break me, I found a road to take me home. There ain't nothing but a blue sky now. After all of my running, I'm finally coming home.
Wayne Moore. Beautiful, Wayne. Thank you. Andy Belling, Peter Lansky, and Guy Azuli.
Yay.
Yay. Andy's happy. Andy's like, that we are done. Good. Everybody good? Good. All right. Good. I'm good too. Had lots of live Facebook action going on there, Wayne. You're stirring it up out there.
Cool.
Yes, good. So now is our opportunity to do our conscious giving. This is the time where you get to embrace your divinity through the abundance of the universe. And as our ushers come by, it's the opportunity to consciously give of your good to support this beautiful community known as Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles. The methodology that you have to give of your good here is cash, check, credit card. If you want to use a credit card, there's a machine, a credit card, obviously. See Edward in the back with our brand new wireless credit card machine. And or you can go on our website, which is csl-la.org, and click on donate, or through our app, which is the CSL LA app here, and do that. And which is how I did it this morning. So I will, you'll know what I'm going to do in a second. So I invite you to take that which you're giving and place it close to your heart. Sorry that I'm fumbling here. I'm trying to find, I just know this by heart. Place it close to your heart. The heart is the symbol for love. And we invite each and every one of you that as you give to do so, not just with human love, but recognizing the love of the divine, which is the self-givingness of spirit, whose desire is to create more of itself out of itself, so that as you give, you awaken that within you. And so, let's take a moment. And please repeat after me. Today, I create a new story in my life.
Create a new story.
So I give. In a brand new way. This warms my heart. And does good. In the world. My world. For my world is the world. And the world is my world. And so I give today, trusting and knowing that it returns to me, multiplied abundantly. And so it is.
'Tis the gift to be simple, 'tis the gift to be free, 'tis the gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend, we shan't be ashamed to turn. Turn will be our delight, till by turning, we come round right.
Thank you. Beautiful. So Wayne, you have CDs for sale at a table. Feel free to see Wayne in the back and give him money. That's because he's not giving those to you free. He just wants you to feel free when you show up, right? So do that. Some announcements I'm going to go over. You'll see in many of the seats, there's a handout here. It's regarding the donation drive that we're doing for Save the Syrian Children that we're partnering with Congregation Kol Amion. You'll see there's all kinds of stuff in the back behind where Edward is and the refreshment table of stuff that we're collecting. This will continue through Tuesday evening when we have the event here in this room to pack it up to send to the children of Syria and families in Syria. It's a wonderful organization. We appreciate any and all support that you have for that, whether it's through goods and or whether it is through going on the Amazon site and purchasing stuff for that, or we'll take cash or credit card donations as well to purchase stuff. The rabbi and I are headed to the store on Tuesday to purchase stuff for the money that we've been given for that. Yes, Lenore.
Can you tell about the presentation?
I don't know a lot about the presentation, but the individuals that have started this organization will be doing a presentation here first before we start packing it on Tuesday night and eating our pizza and whatever else is there to eat with the pizza and drinks. If you're planning to come Tuesday night, can I get a show of hands so we can just keep your hands up so we can get a count, please. 1, 2, 1 hand will suffice, Sherry. All right, now stay up, please. Now keep your hands up, please, so I can get a count. Okay, just try not to, don't, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Create a new story. 11, 12, 13, 14. You heard that, right? 15. That was my outer voice talking. All right. 15, Lenore. 15. 20 is what we anticipated, so perfect. So please come if you're, it would be great to have all of you coming, and once again, how many, what? It's 7:15 Tuesday night. It'll be about an hour and a half. It's a great opportunity. We've been, our desire has been to do an event with Congregation Kol Ami. For those of you that are new, that's the synagogue here, the community here. It's the second oldest LGBT Jewish synagogue in Los Angeles, and it's not just LGBT, it's everyone. And that's our first event that we're co-sponsoring together. So we're very excited about that. If you have any questions, you have handouts, feel free to. Okay, what, Jody? What? She says vote first. Well, okay. Anyway, all right, moving right along. So, thank yous. A huge thank you to Jody, our voting expert here, for her practitioner duties today. Our illuminator, the one and only Reverend Lenore Edney, her and her husband David are celebrating their 18-year wedding anniversary today. A big thank you to our setup team, Jesus Ernesto Ruiz, Bob Zwolinski in the back on audio, Edward, myself, and John Templeton. First John Templeton, he was here. John Templeton.
Hey, Peter Lansky.
Andy Belling, and the one and only Wayne Moore. Join us as we explore our roots, the stories and traditions that are the foundation of American folk music. That's here in this room today at 3 p.m. It's free, but they're open to a love donation of $10 if you want to give that. And I think that's it. It's been fantastic to share this experience with everyone today. I love looking out and seeing new faces. That's everyone's face is new in this moment because we're starting anew, right? So, we all good? There is fruit for you to eat out there. There's sugar out there. There's a birthday cake for the Geminis that are sharing and celebrating with us. There's tea, there's coffee, there's water that tastes like the refrigerator, for those of you that have a challenge with that, because they don't seal it up correctly. And still water. Think about all these people on our planet that don't get water, and certainly not cold water, and certainly not clean. It may stink, but it's clean. So on that note, let's close. Right? Let's close. Let's know together that we've come together today to acknowledge and honor that which exists among all of us, which is the oneness of life. And so here we grow again today knowing that we're all here together by divine appointment. And what that means is there's something higher than just the conscious decision to get up, get dressed, go to Starbucks, get in the car, and come here by 10 a.m. That we're here from a calling of that universal presence and power that is always waiting for us to give rise to the story that we've claimed for ourselves. So today, we've come together so that we not only create a new story for ourselves individually, but to create a story as an awake, alert community of individuals that walk this planet we call home. We move forward today knowing that we have the ability to not only think anew, to be anew, but to co-create a life that is full of blessings and abundance and prosperity, right action and health and goodness. This is all true for us no matter what may be taking place in our life, but we let go of everything prior to right now and open ourselves up to allowing the divine to do its thing through us, allowing it to dance the rhythm of life through us. And we bring to it clarity, understanding, peace, serenity, surrender, faith, and joy. And as a result, that which is made manifest is good being propagated as more good, and the ripple effect continues. For that we say thank you, thank you, thank you. And we close by saying together, amen, and so it is.